We're still in Romania, and we've come today to the Mud Volcanoes, which is basically like a I'm assuming like a geothermal area where there's bubbling out the ground just due to the gases in the earth. So we're going to have a wander here. There's a big one and a small one. I think we're in the big area now. You can see there's like one over there, quite a few in this distance as well, and then we'll go to a smaller one. But you're just allowed to explore like freely. Came to a whopping total of £1.32 for the pair of us to visit these. So I think it's a couple of hour walk, but yeah, they're quite impressive. It really is being like on like what I'd imagine the surface of the moon is. It's just so dry. You can see where the water's run through, so I'm assuming after every rain they get a bit more. But over the years, they've grown from the little one you've just seen to this big one. When it obviously ejaculates out at the top, it kind of goes on the side and then it builds up to a greater height. It's peculiar knowing that like where we're walking underground is basically, it's got all of this sort of area of bubbling. Like I don't know how thick the crust is or anything, but this is quite a big one. There's 3 or 4 little spots here, so I'll focus on this for a while. That was a big one. It's like my ass after a bad curry. This one's quite unique in that it's got like a soil crust on it. It moves every time it sort of bubbles. They are like literally all over the place. There's one here, there's a big area bubbling over there. You can see like little bits starting and then they'll turn into what you're going to see over there, which is what we're going to go to now, this bigger one. Probably the biggest one in this area we've seen so far. But yeah, it's really strange, really such like a weird thing to know that all this is going on underneath your very feet. When I was saying about it, the lunar landscape, I mean like this where the warm water or the warm mud has cut through the land, you can sort of see all these like crevices and cracks and stuff. So I'm assuming after every rain this will be like a little river, but this one's big. Probably be able to see that this bit here where like the grey mud sort of, I'm going to say clay mud is coming down, is like forming like a lava field, which is essentially, you can see it slowly descending down there. But it's like a volcano, but obviously not with lava, just with the mud. But this little one is kind of getting formed now as we speak, and then it'll hopefully eventually turn into something like that once it deposits itself. So this is on the top of the big one. You might hear that one chowing at me, but this is still growing. I'll be the first to admit that when we first discussed sort of coming here, I wasn't sure. I just thought it's a little bit of bubbling sort of mud, but actually really worth a visit. Said before, this is the bigger of the two. The smaller ones are supposed to be actually a little bit more active than these ones, but for £1.30 something, this is fantastic. I mean, all the way over there, there's still volcanoes. It's a huge area. This one behind me is really active. You can sort of see like the crust around the outside, so I'm thinking there's a lot more liquid under there, but this one's pretty active. There's a one just down here which is active, and then over there there's a big one which I've seen. Probably sort of see this one's kind of collapsed in on itself. It's still bubbling. Eventually over time it will sort of come back up. I definitely have to add though, like how much of a beautiful country Romania has been. I mean, we're just surrounded now by like forests, green, trees. Bears are definitely in this area. We're almost 99.9% certain we had wolves howling last night as well in the trees over there. It got to about 11:30 and you just heard like one howl and we thought it might be a dog because there was a stray on the site. But then that followed with like 3 or 4 other howls and it went on for quite a while, like quite a... We both said it could probably be a wolf, and apparently there's tens of thousands of wolves here, so the likelihood is in this area it probably was. You can kind of get an idea of how these form by like watching here, like when there's an eruption here in a moment, keep me hanging, a good one, you just see the odd little bit of soil just come over the edge and continue down. There's like a little channel just forming there, and you'll just see just coming out this little opening all the way down, which then kind of trickles down here and forms what you're seeing ahead of yourselves. Some are more active than others. Obviously, this one's a smaller one, but this one seems to be quite bubbly, quite consistent. Just like you see a little trail of it, which is coming just down here, where it's just forming itself over the next however many years it'll become one of the bigger ones. Yeah, it is impressive. That'll do. There we go.